Hi, it's Cathy Cena with Tri-Cities Community TV, and we'd like to thank the library for donating our space today, as well as the Coquitlam First Nations peoples for the land that we are on. Today we are meeting with Delia Cooper. She's the lead facilitator at the Tri-Cities Arthritis Group. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Cathy, for
Yes.
inviting me today.
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's get right into it. Your organization has been around since 1983, and you also go by Hang Tough. So we'll get into what that means later. But yes, tell us a little bit about the inception of this group and what inspired you to be a part of it.
Well, actually, I was one of the founding members because I developed rheumatoid arthritis or juvenile idiopathic arthritis when I was 12. So when I was working, I encountered another lady who also had spondylitis. And so we decided that we needed to create a group, and we did. We were both teachers, and so we created this group in 1983. And of course, we discovered fairly quickly that we were both too tired to work all day and also run a meeting at night. So we ended up, I ended up having to work full time, and she went on to encourage other people to come during the day. So our meeting ended up having to be during the day. But the best part about the community group that we have is that they never forget about people who can't join them. And so I, for many years, while I was working full-time, I would have lunch with some of the executive in that group so I could keep up on track of what was going on.
Yes.
Then when I managed to retire, I became a member again, and I was the president and the vice president and so forth. And
Yeah, exactly.
we carried on. And now we don't really have presidents or vice presidents. I'm past president. We have facilitators running the group, and I have a number of people, wonderful people, who help with preparing presentations and asking speakers to come and facilitating the meetings. So it is a really good group, and we're very friendly.
That's great. Tell me, what is the primary mission of the group?
Well, we need to look after people with arthritis, and I'll say you that's a very high priority. If you are diagnosed with a chronic disease like arthritis, you probably see your doctor twice a year for 10 minutes. And that's it. You have to look after yourself after that. And so it's all about self-management. And that's where we come in. People who've been diagnosed with a chronic disease are really floundering. They don't know what to do, and they don't know where to go or who to talk to. So we are there, and if anyone has any questions, we have our little green beads at our meetings. The green beads let people know that you can come and ask us anything. And if we don't know the answer, we'll find somebody who does know the answer.
So do you wear the beads in the community as well?
No, just in the community group.
In the community
during
group.
the group.
Okay.
Yes. So it's really important that people have this opportunity. And really, in Fraser Health, people who have the really bad autoimmune diseases don't have any support because Fraser Health has so little money to look after the huge population and all the immigration right now. We can't even go downtown to have access of the Mary Pat Clinic downtown because Fraser Health says it will look after us, but they only look after people newly diagnosed in the last 2 years. So anybody else, it's too bad.
Exactly, that's too bad. What are some things like, okay, when do people get arthritis? What are some of the things to look for? How do you know to go to the doctor? Like, do you just get aches and pains? What does that look like? Maybe you can share that with us.
Any joint pain will
Joint pain.
Yes.
Okay.
There are 100 different types of arthritis, and any joint pain is as a tip-off that you might be encountering some kind of arthritis. The osteoarthritis is fairly common when you get older, but when it comes to all the autoimmune arthritises, they can happen anytime. Even babies get them, get it, and that's why when we we had a past president who created a fund for us, the Coquitlam Foundation Fund, the Sheila Elaine Fulton Memorial Fund. So every year we try and support at least 1 or 2 children to go to the arthritis camp be in the Tri-Cities. You know, we have children in the Tri-Cities that need this.
Right.
And so that's our goal as well, to make sure that everybody in the Tri-Cities with arthritis is looked after properly.
Right, exactly. And how do you support people in the Tri-Cities with arthritis? Like, what are the kinds of things and services that you offer?
Well, you can imagine we try and have speakers according to the needs of our community or what they would like. So for example, in September, we had a yoga therapist and a pain management therapist certified. And she came to talk to us and to go through her programs with us so that people have access to the right kind of treatments and programs that would be appropriate for them. And this next month, we're going to have a lawyer from Swartz, DBD, I believe it's DBD Swartz, and they're going to come and talk about wills and powers of attorneys and those kinds of agreements that people who have diseases or chronic diseases may need in their life. And then in November, we're going to have Fraser Health come and visit and talk about green sleeves. So, I mean, we try and bring in people who will help us in our lives.
Yes, exactly. No, that's great. What number of people do you think that you're helping in the Tri-Cities with arthritis? Do you have some statistics for me?
We have over 100 members.
Okay.
And it's increasing. Of course, COVID was devastating for us because we're a community group that needs to be in person. And people don't like to ask questions on Zoom when there are a lot of other people there.
Right.
So our numbers dropped during Zoom, during COVID. But now they're coming back, and that's the point. We want people to come in person, and we will have like over 30 people at any meeting. And that's why we have to have these lovely little green necklaces, because anybody new who arrives won't know who to go to.
Right.
And we all know we're a very friendly group, and we all have coffee, tea, and veggies and goodies at every meeting as well.
And what are some of the biggest challenges that people face that are living with arthritis?
For many of them, it's trying to access the services they need, because it's not very easy in Fraser Health to get the service you need. And so that's one of the things that we can help them with. We know who to go to if you need a hand occupational therapist. And even though you're going to have to pay for it because it won't be covered, we at least know someone who's very good, that kind of thing. If you need to, you need just support because you're feeling very isolated, because a chronic disease does isolate people a lot. They don't want to go out. They don't want to see anybody. They don't, you know, they feel very, very depressed in some cases. Well, then this is a way to bring people out, and we try and support people to bring. So what we're doing right now, and we do every year, is a little project, which is a fundraiser for us, but it's more, you know, it's more of a social event. So right now we're making, you know, bags for the pool that you put your things in for if you're going to the pool, or for groceries, and they're large and they go over the shoulder, and we make them with donated fabric, and then we sell them for $10. My friend, one of our facilitators said, these bags should cost $50, not $10 with all the work that goes into them.
I know.
But
I
that's
know.
not the point of it.
No,
And
it's
people with disabilities don't have a lot of money. And that's why we put a limit on anything at $10.
Yeah. How do you think arthritis affects the mental health? We talked a little bit about depression. I would think that it would be not great that people can't be mobile, and they're not able to get out of their homes because the pain is so much. But what do you think happens with that, with the mental health problems?
I think that they just withdraw, and that's what we don't want to have happen. People who are in a lot of pain withdraw. But we do have all sorts of suggestions, and one of the things that is best for people who are in pain, surprisingly enough, is exercise. And so we encourage people to go to the pool.
Okay.
And we
That's good if you have arthritis, is going swimming.
Yes, and some people are into pool exercises. Some people don't like the water, so something like Tai Chi, which is very mild, and also chair yoga is another kind of exercise which will encourage you to get out and also meet other people and feel better in the long run. Now, you have to give everything at least a 2-week trial. Everything that you try that's new. You can't just go once. You have to continue at least 2 weeks to see if you're going to have any changes at all.
So what does your group do to raise awareness about the group? How do you get your message out there? I believe that you meet at, is it Trinity United? Is that where you meet?
Yes.
And are these meetings monthly?
Yes, every month except during the summer.
Yes.
And we also have social events at Christmas time, like lunches, Christmas lunches, and in spring picnics and things like that. So, but it's very important for us to get out into the community, and it is a huge problem because we used to be able to put our notices into the Tri-City News, which is no longer available, but now they're doing a guide every month, so hopefully we'll be able to go into that guide. But we put posters up everywhere. This is our poster.
Yes, yes.
And
Exactly.
it shows what's going to happen this month and for the next 2 months after.
Yes.
And so we put them up in every community center in the Tri-City and every library and every church that we can access. We ask our members to put them up in their buildings as well. And so it actually helps. And we ask everybody to, if they are feeling uncomfortable coming, bring a friend or a relative.
Right.
So that they can feel more comfortable about attending the meetings.
Tell me a success story that you've seen from people that, started coming and so on, and, perhaps there was a success story out of that. Can you sort of go through a success story for me?
Oh my. Well, I think the success story that I can think of most of is for myself because it's always been there for me. If anything went wrong, I would go to Hang Tough, and for some miraculous reason, they would have a speaker or someone that would answer my questions immediately. For example, I had a problem with medications after a surgery, and it was the next meeting that someone had brought in a pharmacist and explained why I should not be on a particular pain medicine that they had put me on and why I should not be on. So it was like miracle. Somebody answered my question.
Yes.
I had fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue after an accident once, but I was at the meeting and someone said, we're going to have a speaker on chronic fatigue syndrome and really would like to have more people come to it. Well, I went to that, and sure enough, that person was describing me. My husband took me because I couldn't even manage myself. and they were describing everything that was going wrong with me. I took the course and I managed to recover miraculously. And I know that not everybody has that kind of success, but I was very fortunate. And as I say, I know how important it is to have this community group. It is so critical for people with chronic diseases.
So how can the community get involved, Delia?
Well, I think making everyone aware that we're here. And I would appreciate it very much if doctors would also appreciate what we do, because many doctors are afraid that patients will give people wrong information, but that's not the case. We have facilitators, and I was one of them, that have taught self-management program courses. One of them still does with the University of Victoria. We have experienced people who know about these diseases. We can help people. And so I would like the doctors in the neighborhood to know who we are and what we do, and maybe refer some of their patients that are struggling with this new diagnosis to come and see us. You know, I think just having the input from another person who has been there and done that makes such a huge difference.
So you know you're not living in this sort of disease alone. There are people around you that can support you.
Exactly.
Right.
And if you have to go for a surgery, we have people there who've had that surgery before. You can find a lot of information from people who have been there and done it before, you know? And so I think that's important. The medical establishment needs to acknowledge patients as partners and the value of our community group.
Right, exactly. So if people want to get in touch with Tri-Cities Arthritis Group, how can they do that?
Well, we have a Facebook page with, our Facebook, or they can call me because I have my phone number on the posters, and they just call, and then they say, what do I have to do? And I say, you just come.
Yeah, so when they come to meetings, they get information. People with their green beads will give them, they can ask them questions, and then you have speakers at these different things, like you said, whether it's about a will or power of attorney, or last month it was yoga, and so on, and there's different things that are up and coming. You never know with the people around you that it's going to be speaking to, just like yourself when you were there, and it spoke to exactly what you were feeling, and even the medications that you were taking and why not to take it. So you found it to be quite useful and knowledgeable, and really in a lot of ways it's maybe saved you in some ways.
Oh, absolutely. It has been a lifesaver for me over the years.
And you've had this for so many years, for so many years, right? It's not only, I didn't know that also children can get this, and it's not only just in adults that this does happen to. So there's 100 members in your group. Obviously, you're wanting that to grow, and we can get that with the help of doctors, hopefully. So yeah, anything else you'd like our?
Well, we do have to fund our group, and so we do send around a tin with asking people to donate a few dollars every meeting. If you're new, you don't have to do that, but if you come back again, we will ask you to. And that's because we have to pay for the room, and we're very fortunate to have Gordy Markle at the Trinity United arrange for us to be able to use that room. And it's great parking there, so you don't have to worry about having difficulty managing to get into the space. No stairs or anything.
That's good.
And the other thing is we also have to give honorariums to our speakers. So that we do have some expenses for the coffee and tea and so forth. But otherwise, it's a group that goes on.
Right, it's a group that goes on. Well, thank you so much. Today we're talking to Delia Cooper, a lead facilitator with Tri-Cities Arthritis Group. She tells me that they're a friendly group. If you know someone, or maybe yourself, someone who's watching that is suffering from arthritis, please check them out on their Facebook page. Look them up under the Tri-Cities Arthritis Group right here in your backyard. I'm Cathy Cena. Thanks for watching Tri-Cities Community TV.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that was really good. And I'm so